Hey guys, it's Abby and welcome to a Journal with Me video featuring some of my favorite books. I will make sure to link all the items that I'm using down in the description below, but basically I'm going for like a pink and blue pastel themed one for this Journal with Me video because most of the titles that I'm picking out actually do have the same color scheme, and I felt like it would be nice to incorporate them in the spreads. So I am just going to talk about, you probably know that I have read more books, but these are some of the recent ones that I've read and reread, so I thought of sharing it to you guys today. Actually, I also realized I never really do any book journaling, mostly because I have not been reading books in the past year, and due to quarantine, I really made a promise to myself to really read more and explore different genres that I feel would really benefit me and I guess fuel me to focus more instead of just, providing myself with too much screen time. So the first book that I'm going to share with you is Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. I really love this book. It's the second time that I actually read it, and what I'm doing for the layout is actually, if you see the notebook slash journal that I'm using, this is from Everyday Explorers. The top part is basically like 3/4 a dotted area, which is great because then I could put this book cover directly on that area, and then the bottom is like a list of sorts. So I am going to go ahead and like add my notes there, which you will see later on. I'm also using mostly stamps from Everyday Explorers. These were all given to me. I really love this book themed stamp set because then I could use it specifically to review some of my favorite titles. Now that I actually developed this idea, I'm looking forward to do more reviews on my journal, because what I do when I list down my favorite books in a month is usually like on the last page of the specific journal spread for the month. But I feel like it's also nice to have like a common place for things like my books, films, and stuff that I watch, because this is great for me to also log, because I tend to watch a lot of things and also read a lot, and well, not really the read part, but you get the point. Like consuming these things, I feel like I tend to forget most of them, so it'd be nice to have a common place. Actually, now that I think about it, it's also great to actually use this format for anything else, like music. You can put like album covers. You can also put again, films. So films or documentaries, and like you can put the film poster or documentary poster, and I think it works fine. So yeah, as I mentioned, I'm going to start here at the bottom. You see there are some areas. It's basically lined, and at the left part you have like, I don't know, I'm just putting like a bullet because I feel like it can either be bullets or numbers, and with that I am just writing down my thoughts. As I was saying, so Big Magic is a book by Elizabeth Gilbert. You might have known her for the very best-selling book called Eat, Pray, Love, which I have not yet read. I will link my favorite Elizabeth Gilbert TED Talk. Actually, she has like 2 or 3, I think, and that has really inspired me to move forward with my creative journey. Every time I feel like I'm stuck somewhere, I just read this book and I feel so enlightened and I feel so inspired. And actually, after reading this book, I went on to actually sit down and do my Patreon, so I owe it a lot to rereading this book, and also to my life coach, Abbey, who actually recommended me to, I guess, revisit this book. And yeah, I always like visiting and rereading pages, and I also highlighted a lot of passages, I believe, from this specific title. So at the bottom, I put like a 5-star rating because, yes, it is a 5-star rating for me. I am not very selfish with my stars. So I forgot to mention, I'm also using the Pentel Touch in the new colors that I have. I really like this blue-black shade, as you can see here. My only concern is I did not anticipate this, but it bleeds on the opposite page, which meant that I cannot use the back page. I'll probably journal something there or like add a collage instead. And I have to use the next page, and that is such a waste of paper, but lesson learned. So Pentel Touch is apparently too thick for this particular type of paper. So moving forward, I am going to head on with the next title, and I'm gonna prep my page as usual. So I guess you probably know by now that I use a lot of these inks, usually in the VersaCraft brand. I'm thinking of what color to get next, but honestly, I'm pretty happy with the current collection I have, I guess I have like less than 20 inks, and it's fine. Maybe if they dry up, then I'll get more. I'm not a big hoarder these days, and I'm very proud of that because I feel like I still have a lot of things that I can still recycle and use within my current journaling stash. So the next title is, actually, I'm not done reading this, but it's a really, really great book. It's called Modern Love. If you listen to podcasts, you probably have come across Modern Love. It actually started as a column in the New York Times. So if you go to the New York Times, you'll find stories about love, basically, but not just like love like between men and women or like two people, but like love in general in many forms, in many ways. So I listened to the podcast before, and I also watched the Modern Love series on Amazon Prime, which came out last year, which also really great. But I feel like in all the different mediums and formats that it was done, the book format appealed to me the most. It also reminds me of this book by David Levitan called How They Met and Other Stories, which is an anthology of short stories that he wrote about love. And this one, I think, is sort of the similar context, but of course the big difference is Modern Love, all the stories inside are real and they happened. And in terms of the essays, they're not very long, so it can be just like 3 or 4 pages, and it's a very quick read, but you sort of understand where the story is coming from. And as someone who's very much attracted to the beauty of stories, and I think that also connects with why I like doing journaling that much and why I do document my life, because these essays really hold a lot of depth, and I cannot connect to most of them because, you know, everyone has different backgrounds, but I feel like it's so nice to peek into the lives of different people through the stories that they tell. And I am very fascinated with that fact. So let's just, you know, get that out of the way. But it's really something I'm highly interested in, like the whole context of like people and connections and how relationships are formed, how they last, and how they withstand the test of time, and all the other things that come with life. Wow, this is getting very deep. So yeah, as I mentioned, we're going to do the same thing like with the bullets. I just played along and like made it heart icons because they're cheesy but they're cute. So I'm also using this Sarasa pen. No, this is a Signo pen, which I apparently found in my area where I usually neglect in my room, and I'm so happy that I found a lot of pens there. I think I forgot to take them out after like months. So this is like a Hello Kitty special edition, which comes in a very nice shade of blue, which was great because you do know that most of my journal spreads are color coded, and with that I really take out specific colors of my pens, stickers, washi tapes, and basically all my stationery to fit this color scheme and, you know, make everything look harmonious in that sense. So yeah, I have not finished this book, but I will keep you guys posted. Hopefully I'll do more book journaling videos because I've been reading more books these days and I'm very happy about it. Especially now that I'm recording this, I am actually diving more into fiction in general and looking for themes that I feel would really make me question a lot of things, because I've been used to reading nonfiction for a while. And well, this is also considered nonfiction. I don't think I've read fiction in a long time, and it's mostly because I feel like it's a lot of like thinking in terms of like, you know, visualizing the story and like imagining the location, the geography, and basically the plot. Like sometimes I just don't like to think, and I feel like nonfiction really is a great way to just read things that already feel real and not fiction, which also leads me to my next favorite book. These are some of the books I started reading, I think last June, because I made a vow to like read more books, which is great. And a lot of people have suggested that I read more books. So the last book I'm recommending is by Ali Wong. This is entitled Dear Girls. I love Ali Wong. I first encountered Ali Wong maybe like 3 years ago when a friend recommended that I watch Baby Cobra and then Hard Knock Wife. I forgot which one was the earlier one. Anyway, I watched both of her stand-ups, and then of course there's Always Be My Maybe, and then she also co-produced, or she's one of the people who's behind Tuca and Bertie, which is a really nice show. So after that, I really am in awe of Ali Wong and her quirks. And I don't follow a lot of celebrities on Instagram, but she's one of the people I follow because I just love her humor. And when I read this book, it was great because I'm also Asian, and I think there is some sort of internal connection I feel, because I think she's like half Vietnamese and half Chinese, and I am full Chinese, but I live in the Philippines, so I don't know if that makes me like Filipino Chinese in some context. But anyway, I really like how she wrote this book because it's entitled Dear Girls for the sole purpose that it's actually something that she's going to give to her two girls, her two daughters. That's why it's Dear Girls. So every chapter starts with like Dear Girls, and then there's a specific like concept or like learning that she has to impart to her kids. And I liked it because I feel like I learned a lot also by reading it. And I feel like it symbolizes more of like she's kind of like a big sister with the way she writes it, because I don't think she can be like my mom in terms of age wise, but maybe like a big sister. So yeah, I really enjoyed this book. I think I finished it in less than a week. I also feel like while reading the book, my friend did tell me that when she listened to the audiobook, it was literally Ali Wong talking. But when I was reading the book, I felt like I was listening to her doing a stand-up. Like, I can imagine it in her voice the whole time, which was great because it just kept me going. And it's so interesting how you only just see the outside of like her success in her career, and there are a lot of things that she had to overcome and challenges that she had to face growing up. And also the whole thing about, in the comedy scene, how you're an Asian, you're a woman, and a lot of things that really make you find ways in order to break through and question the status quo. And I'm all for people who do that, because I also feel like I am doing that with having to, let's not talk about that, but the whole context of me getting into a creative career. So I respect anyone in terms of, as a creative, being brave enough to fight for what they believe in and really pursue what they're meant to do in life. And I think Ali Wong is a great example of that. And of course, I really love the movie Always Be My Maybe. If you haven't watched it, please watch it. It's a really great film. So yeah, I really recommend this book. I think maybe in like 5 years I probably reread it again. Also, one of the more recent memoirs that I've also read is by Abbey Jacobson, called I Might Regret This. It's also a great title. So yeah, I also leave like some book recommendations in the description below in case you wanna explore the genres I am generally interested in. So yeah, that's it for this page, and I'll just show you a flip through of all the pages that we worked on today. Thank you so much for watching this video, and make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more updates. Bye!